Welcome back and thanks for joining us here on Sunday nights. I'm your host, DM Midgarin, joined once again by our cast of wonderful and affordable role players. In our last episode, our heroes were set upon by a band of marauders led by a plague-touched lizard folk. While the team of Hans, Lucian, and Kiefer engaged in battle, our friends from the forest, Ellie and Galaxia, worked with the immortal alchemist Hazir to create an oil that would allow their weapons to deal damage to Jazat and give them the edge in the upcoming battles. With a vial done, Galaxia left Ellie to continue her work. Back at the fight, the group was having trouble in dealing with the lizard folk's crystalline body. All that changed when Galaxia shot the creature with an oil-covered arrow. The bolt not only pierced the creature's armored-like hide, but the crystal started to melt away. In his panic, the lizard folk lunged for Lucian, teeth bared. The bite not only left Lucian with nasty wound, but gave him the affliction. We now join our heroes after the fight. Lucian has succumbed to the disease and has passed out. Galaxia and Ellie are tending to his wounds, while Hans and Kiefer prepare for the journey ahead.
Alright, so first I would like to try to slump Lucian back on his horse, kind of like the old Western style, where you kind of slump him across his horse with his stomach, kind of like his hands and his legs across the back of the horse, so we can just try to stabilize him there and then try to get him back to the palace.
Well, we have essentially just figured that. What did we learn with his disease last time? Essentially that
We learned that we can put a process down, but in order to cure him, we have to get him back to the palace. He's got some type of disease that's going through his body that's going to cause him to transform.
right. Well, do we know that it's making him transform, or we just know it's doing something to him?
So it's doing something to him, to his body.
Right. Okay, so we essentially slow it down as much as we can and set off. Yeah, I think it'd probably be best for us to head straight to the castle, head straight to the Oasis.
So everybody gets upon their horses and head out to the Oasis. As you guys head out, you hear Zeke kind of croak out, "Farewell, tower. Farewell. I'm off on an adventure." As he's kind of like just strapped to one of the horse sacks. The desert itself is blazing hot with dunes reaching over the horizon. Every time you go up a dune, the horses themselves have to brake as you kind of basically slide back down. Just to get over this area is going to take you a few hours of just hard travel.
Okay, well, I can use hallucinatory terrain, and I can make, let's say you make natural terrain in a 150-foot cube in range. Sounds, smell like some other sort of natural terrain. That's only gonna be for 150 feet, but that I can create like a more forest type floor instead of the dunes.
Okay. Are you going to burn a spell slot to do that?
I mean, probably make us go a bit faster.
For 150 feet, but we're talking miles of desert.
Okay, well.
All right, we'll just try to go as quick as we can.
Yeah, I was hoping that might help, but.
We'll try to find areas in the dune where it's more stable, where we don't slide down as much, but yeah, we'll just try to cross as best we can.
Go ahead and make me a survival check, Galaxia, so you can plot out the correct course through the dunes.
21.
21, perfect. So describe to me how you figure out how you're going to get through these dunes.
As I'm examining the dunes as they go up and down, I'm trying to figure out the best way to kind of go to slope up these dunes, so we're not just trying to go straight up, maybe just go off to the side a little bit, see if there's stable ground to kind of get up over the dunes, so we're not continually trying to have the horses try to slide down and make them work harder.
You take a little bit of extra time, but you're able to make it away from the tower through the desert itself without much harm. And in fact, once you reach the Oasis itself, you're going to do so without getting a level of exhaustion.
Neat.
As you guys get to the Oasis, you crest over the last dune, and you see before you a scene of chaos. A horde of creatures assail the northern border. You see lizard folk and inhuman monsters pushing large siege engines towards the northern gates. The guards at the towers rain down arrow and fire upon the attackers below. Among the attacking creatures, large, muscle-bound behemoths. They shield smaller creatures from the worst of the assault. From where you stand, you see one of the behemoths pick up something from a cage and hurl it at the guards on the wall. Upon impact, the object explodes, killing everybody nearby and causing large damage towards the wall.
Oh, interesting.
So you have an attacking force that is attacking the northern walls right now.
And they're attacking the palace, right?
Yes, they are attacking the Oasis.
North or south?
North.
North of the palace. All right, we're just going to try to continue to get to the palace as quick as we can on our horses to try to see if we can get there, and then if we're able to provide some aid to the battle, then we'll try to do so.
Okay. For the moment, it seems the western gate has been left unharmed in the attack and looks like the best way into the city.
That's the direction that we're going to go.
You guys head for the western gate. As you make it, the gates themselves are shut. The guards at the top, they see you, and they all point their arrows at you.
I raise up my hand and say, we are here in peace. I have the Queen's guards with me. We're here to deliver a message to the Queen. Please allow us to pass through. And that is what I say.
Sergio is going to look up at the guards and be like, put your bows down, you idiots!
No, the Queen's Blade! Open the gates, quickly! Quickly!
As they open the gates and allow us to pass through, I just ask one of the guards, quickly, we need to get to a healer. Our friend here on the horse, he is suffering from something that's causing him some harm, and we need to get him quickly healed before something bad happens to him.
Take him to the church. Quickly now. Quickly!
All right, fair enough. I'll try to head to the church as quick as I can.
Okay. So the church itself is the cathedral, which is a little bit to the side of the palace. So you head up there?
Yep, I'll head up there with my horse and with Lucian tied to his horse.
So once in the Oasis, you guys encounter many panicked citizens as you make your way to the palace. Many of the people, they recognize the Queen's Blade upon first sight. They start shouting, please save us, Queen's Blade! Please help us! Defeat the monsters!
Hans is searching for everyone to step aside. Make way! We must enter the chambers of the Queen!
And one person goes, please protect my son! Take my son to safety! Queen's Blade, please! Help us!
Don't worry, help will be arriving very soon. Just take shelter and don't open the door for anybody.
They will part ways on making room for you so you can head out to the palace.
Blacksea will look to Kiefer and Hans and just say, I'll take care of Lucian. See if you can assist with aid at the walls if need be. I'll take Lucian to the church to see if we can get him healed.
All right.
Yes, I'm following with Hans.
All right, so you're following Hans. Galaxia, what are you doing?
I'm just going to head to the church with Lucian.
Okay, and Kiefer.
I'm staying with Hans and kind of like protecting him from like the swarm of people, even though they're like dispersing now. But in case anyone else, I'm sticking with Hans.
Okay, so you're going to head to the palace, but Galaxia, you're going to take Lucian to the cathedral to get healed, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay, you're going to head the same way for a little bit, and then you're going to split off at the end of your route. Sound fair?
Sounds fair.
Sounds fair.
You turn down a street, making a mad dash towards the palace, when a body sails overhead of you. It strikes the house next to you and explodes. I need you all to go ahead and make me a con saving throw.
Blacksea rolls an 8.
Okay.
Ellie have a 17.
Kiefer rolls a 10.
Mm-hmm.
Hans rolled a 9.
All right, so everybody but Ellie, you guys are knocked off your horses. Kiefer, you're just knocked to the ground as this explosion rocks the street itself. Ellie, you look up, and where the point of impact is, a black form has lodged itself into the house and starts to unfurl. Its skin is blackened as if it's been cooked in the sun, and its eyes open up, and they're golden orbs, and they start looking down at you and starts to hiss.
Oh boy.
What do you all do?
I want to take one of the vials out and pass them around to my companions.
Okay.
Here, everyone, take one of these vials and get your weapons ready.
All right, I do that and also stand up.
Okay. So Kiefer stands up. Galaxia, Hans, what are you up to?
I will do the same. Once if I get knocked off my horse, I will try to get back up and take a vial.
Hans is righteously pissed. He gets up and draws his rapier and just forgets the horse and starts running forward.
The creature's, it starts to get muscle. It starts to stretch. Its hands grab hold of the house that it's lodged into, and it pulls itself out. Its body is unnaturally long, like that of an oversized cat, and it starts to crawl down the wall after, heading back towards you. Its movements are more like a spider than a mammal.
How big is the creature? Is it huge?
It's about the size of a human, and it's getting larger by the second. It's like its body is forming.
If there's any opportunity, I'm going to use a normal bow, and then I like to try to see if I can ensue an ensnaring strike on the creature.
I knew you said that there was an explosion of sorts, but is anything on fire that we could maybe use to light this creature on fire?
No, the explosion was not a fiery explosion. It was more like just a concussion explosion.
All right, so ensnaring strike is a bonus action. So basically, doing that to basically try to see if I can restrain his movement. And then if I succeed, or he just has to make a strength saving throw.
Is this all before initiative?
Yep, this is all before initiative.
All right, I would like to take this opportunity to take out a vial of oil and spread it on my blade and light it on fire.
I'm going to be using the daggers that I got and dipping those into the vials, or having the vials on the the oil on the daggers.
And I'm going to cast that as a level 2 spell.
Go ahead, roll for your attack.
24.
24 will hit it.
All right, and it needs to make a strength saving throw.
It rolled a 10.
It will become restrained by the magic until the spell ends, and then he can make another saving throw at the end of his turn to see if he can break loose. But while he's restrained, he's going to take 1 to 6 piercing damage at the start of its turn.
Wonderful.
Okay, and then of course the damage for your attack, right?
Yeah, that'll be 7.
Okay,
That was just a normal arrow. I didn't use a special arrow on him.
that's fine. It strikes into the creature. It seems to do its job. It does normal damage. So go ahead, everybody. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Ellie got a 17.
Hans rolled a 16.
Kiefer got an 18.
Galaxy rolled a 10.
Like we got it in order almost.
Your initiative goes by intelligence?
Oh, that's an intelligence save, Kiefer.
That is 1 second.
I mean, it's a good roll, but
I'll take the 22 initiative then.
Oh, all right.
Brought it up. Okay. I do smart combat.
I mean,
It's called tactics. Heard
that's
of them?
right. Tactic warfare. Warfare.
I fight with my brain, you insufferable lout.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think you into next week.
Oh no.
All right, Kiefer, it is your go. So the creature is about 5 feet in the air at the moment, about 20 feet away,
And he's ensnared by some vines.
and ensnared by vines.
All right, I am going to charge into it.
Mhm.
How far away did you say he was?
20
About 20
feet.
feet.
Disregard. I am not going to charge at him.
All right.
I am going to attack though with my short sword.
Mhm.
Does an 18 hit?
An 18 will hit. Yep.
All right, I am going to use my charger bonus action,
Okay.
and that is going to add a +5 to the damage, making it do 16 damage in total.
So the creature, even though it's forming, it looks very bloody at this moment. Its body starts to judder, and you can start to see flecks of its flesh start to peel off and then just basically disintegrate away.
All right, I am going to attack again.
Okay, go ahead.
Does a 10 hit?
10 will not hit this creature, no.
All right, I missed with the second attack.
Galaxia, do the vines restrain the creature?
Yes.
Then Kiefer, you roll with advantage.
Does a 15 hit then?
15 will hit, yes.
Actually, that will be a crit, and it will be 10 damage.
10 points of damage. As you stick your sword into the creature, second time, its body starts to fall apart, disintegrating upon as it strikes the ground. The creature is no more and dead.
Well, that was easy.
It was not fully formed, so you caught it while it was a baby. Congratulations.
Keep
No,
doing that.
That's what Kiefer said. He like looks around afterwards and says to the rest of the group, "Well, that was easy because why not top the fates?"
Right? Why not tempt the fates? So the creature dies, but that is not the first and is definitely not the last of those impacts. You start to hear them more frequently around the city the closer you get to the palace. As you enter the courtyard leading to the palace and the cathedral, you halt, seeing the gates of the palace are destroyed. The guards are nowhere to be seen.
Hans is like visibly panicked, and he just starts booking it up the stairs through the gates, and he's shouting for the guards.
I'm going to be going after Hans because I obviously know this is a big problem.
I'm going to try to do a fireman's carry on Lucian, try to get him to the church, and drop him off at the church before I try to join up with the rest of the group.
Kiefer, what are you up to? Are you going with Galaxia or are you going with Hans?
I'm gonna go with Hans.
Okay. Galaxia, you head towards the cathedral. The doors themselves are barred. What do you do?
I bang on the door with my fist, try to say, please open this door. I have an injured Queen's Guard here. He needs assistance immediately.
The doors open a crack. You see one single blue eye stares at you, looks down at the body in your hands, and then the doors quickly open up. It's the advisor. What happened? Quick.
I bring him in to the church. I just lay him down on the ground. I explained that he was attacked recently, and there's some type of toxin or disease in his body. It's causing this wound to corrupt his body. We tried to slow it down as best as we can, but he needs immediate medical assistance to cure him of this, so he doesn't turn into something evil.
Of course. Quickly to the med bay. And so 2 priests will come up. They will pick him and put him on one of those carriers. And then they will take him to the med bay. And he's like, thank you, sister. May the light protect you.
I bow and say, to you as well, brother, and please assist him immediately. And then once that's done, I will leave the church and then pick up the tracks where everyone else ran off to and try to catch up with them.
Galaxia, you head off to the palace. Hans makes a mad dash towards the throne room, followed by Ellie and, of course, Kiefer. As you guys turn the corner of the palace, the door to the throne room seems to be encased in some type of translucent crystal.
Hans steps forward. Would Hans recognize this substance?
You do not. This is not standard protocol for a siege. Thinking back, this seems to be very similar to the body of the lizard folk that you had tried to bring with you.
I am going to turn to the group, and I'm going to say we have to find another way in now.
So the entranceway is covered in the crystal.
Yes.
Can I try and kick it with my hooves?
Yes, you can.
I rolled a 17.
So do you use the front hooves or do you use the back hooves? How do you do this?
Back hooves. So I'm gonna try and fully kick it as hard as I can.
As you kick the crystal, it feels similar to the body armor of that one lizard folk that you faced. As you hit it, the crystal seems to be so hard, your blows are glancing off of it. You're losing your footing a little bit as you kick it, and the shockwave reverberates through the rest of your body. It's the same thing as hitting a steel door, or a steel wall, at that matter.
As the Queen's Blade, would I know another entrance to the throne room?
Go ahead and roll me a history check.
I rolled a 6.
At the moment, your mind is so frantic, you don't recall if there's any hidden entrances into the palace room.
As I catch up to the group here, and Hans goes, "Hey, we need to find another entrance. Can I do a quick perception check to see if there's any other ways to get into the throne room, maybe through a window or something?"
Not doing a perception check, but as you recall, the throne room itself is open to the sunlight. If you were to get onto the roof, it'd be very easy for you to get into the throne room itself.
All right. Hans, is there a way up through the roof so we can get up onto the roof and then into the throne room? I'll assist Hans so he gets advantage on his roll.
Natural 20.
So, Hans, since you've been exploring the castle, being the Queen's Blade, you do know about most of the nooks and crannies on the outside. You know, surveilling the area, figuring out, it's like, okay, this is where an assassin can come into. So you know how to get onto the roof safely. The only way that you're going to be able to get to it, if you can climb up the side column to try to get into it. Unfortunately, Kiefer's not going to be able to climb, but there may be a way for him to get up there quite easily.
I fly?
Yes, Kiefer can fly.
Ellie, hand him some rope so he can just hand the rope down so we can climb up.
Well, first, while they're all trying to run off, I wanted to see if I can perceive something in this wall.
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll perception for it?
What are you trying to perceive?
I want to see if I can recognize this texture, the substance, if I can tell what it is. I roll an 8.
It looks like translucent crystal to you.
Would that be familiar from what I've seen from the corpses?
It's familiar from what you've seen from the corpses.
Okay, hey everybody, wait, I have an idea. I want to take one of the daggers I've already put the oil on, and I want to throw it at the wall.
Okay, go ahead, throw it at the wall.
I rolled a 5 for the throw.
So you throw out the crystal, it bounces off and lands back onto the marble flooring of the palace door. The marble flooring starts to melt under the acidic properties of the oil that's currently coating your dagger.
Wonderful. All right, well, I'm going to pick my dagger back up, and let me get the rope out and hand that over to Kiefer.
What kind of rope do you have? Do you have the hemp rope, or do you have
I have the 50-foot hemp rope.
Okay. So you head out to the courtyard of the palace. You can see the roof of the throne room from where you're standing. What do you all do?
Once we all climb up, can we see down into the throne room?
Yes, you can see down into the throne room. Where you're standing, looking downwards, the entire throne room itself has been cleared out, and the throne has been shattered. And laying on top of the shattered throne is the Sun Queen herself. She doesn't seem to be moving.
I'm looking to see if I can find any Lizardman or Josat himself in the throne room.
You do not see anybody besides the Sun Queen in the throne room.
We are up there with him, right?
Yes, you were all up with Kiefer.
I want to go down to investigate.
Hans will go down too, but he's extremely panicked.
Okay. How do you guys go down?
I propose to kind of lower the, secure the rope up here on the roof, throw it down into the throne room so that those of us that can't fly can climb down into the throne room.
Like I said, the throne room has floor-to-ceiling glass all around it. Do you break one of the windows?
Yeah, absolutely. Go break one of the windows.
Okay. Please describe to me what you guys are doing in detail.
As we're on the roof, I'm looking for a way in. If I can't, I'm just going to break one of the glasses with like my elbow, just to crack the glass, with my weapon, just to break the glass so we can get into the throne room.
So I see him trying to smack it with his elbow and be delicate with it and stuff like that. I throw him the rope and say, "Hey, tie tie this off, and then I am going to fly through, shielding myself with my shield, and slam myself into the window to fly down below.
Hans is gonna dive bomb after him and try and grab onto his back and just ride him down to the floor.
Right? What is Ellie doing?
Ellie is watching.
Okay. So, Galaxy, as you attempt to tie and get this very nice knot tied up so they can lower it, Hans jumps on Kiefer's back as Kiefer basically sails through one of the windows, shield in hand. A cascade of broken glass showers the palace floor as Kiefer and Hans descend into the throne room of the palace of the Sun Queen.
So right before we hit the floor, Hans is gonna dive off of his back and do like a rolling run, roll and land up onto his feet and just book it towards the Sun Queen on the throne.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an acrobatics check for doing that.
18.
I'm gonna try and meet his stride at going up to the Sun Queen.
Okay.
Hans rolled an 18 for acrobatics.
Yes. So you were able to jump off Kiefer's back, tumble, and then run heading towards the Sun Queen.
And so now that Ellie has seen that they can make it safely onto the floor, she follows down after them.
Yeah, just climb down the rope.
So Ellie and Galaxia, you climb down the rope. You end up in one of the alcoves of the throne room. Kiefer and Hans, you guys make it towards the little moat. The ice bridge that normally is there to let guests walk past safely is not there. Do you guys jump in the water, or what do you do?
Being the Queen's Blade, would Hans know if it's like a trap or not for unwanted, people unless it's solid?
I mean, that's what a moat is.
I'm going to see them approaching the water, and I call out, wait, I can do that. And so I'm going to go up to the water there.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Water Walk on that moat to turn it to ice so that it's walkable.
Ellie, explain to me how your magic works. Do you create an ice bridge like the Queen does, or do you create a different type of effect? How does your version of Water Walk work? My version of Water Walk is actually going to affect the creatures, so it's going to affect myself and the companions, and we will be able to just walk across the water as if it were a simple terrain. So Ellie, Hans, and Kiefer, you all make your way towards the Sun Queen. Galaxia, what are you up to?
I'll move up, and I'm going to just stop right before the throne room, before I can go through.
Hans, you make your way towards the Sun Queen. She's laying upon the rubble of her throne. Her eyes are shut. She's not moving.
Can I feel for a pulse?
Sure. Go ahead and make a medicine check.
9.
You don't feel anything.
In that case, I'm gonna take out one of my health potions, and I'm gonna be like, drink, my queen, drink quickly.
As you pick up her head, one of her eyes opens up, just a creak. She looks up at you. Hans, is that you?
Yes, I am here.
Oh, all right. What's happening, Hans? Did they make it?
We are all here.
She looks around. Help me up for a second, Hans.
I think you should stay down, my queen. You are injured. You should drink this, really.
She goes, I have no time for the potions. She sits up. She looks around. So, tell me what's going on.
We are under siege. The lizard folk are attacking the northern gates, and we had to sneak past and get through the gates with the guards so we could get here. Where are the guards for the castle?
The guards are where they're supposed to be.
Do you think you can stand?
I think so, yes. She gets up. She gets to her feet. Ah, don't worry, Hans. Don't worry. It will be over soon.
Stop, and I turn back to her and I say, what do you mean it will be over soon?
Oh, Hans, my protector. I do not require protecting, for soon we will all be under the same banner. Her other eye starts to open, and it is shining a bright golden.
Yeah, I'd like to do an insight check, see if this is actually the queen that's talking.
It is the queen that's talking, yes.
That's what I'm trying to determine, is like, this is actually the queen.
No matter what you roll, yes, this is the queen talking.
Okay.
Hans just loses it, and he draws a sword, and he goes to take a swing at her, but he stops like short of her throat because he can't bring himself to strike at his queen.
Of course you can't, Hans. We've been through so much.
He lets this happen.
Don't worry, Hans. It will all be over soon. Hans, I need you to go ahead and make me a wisdom saving throw.
7.
Hans, you immediately stop. Your body is paralyzed and cannot move. You try to fight through it. It's almost like you're caught in an iron suit. It's alright, Hans. I will take care of the others. And then you will feel the embrace, which I am now feeling. And I'm going to need everybody to go ahead and roll for initiative as the Sun Queen tries to kill you.
Wonderful.
Hans rolled a 14.
Okay?
Glassy rolls a 17.
Ellie rolled a 10.
Kiefer rolled a 12.
Galaxia, the Sun Queen casts a spell upon Hans, and he freezes in place. It is your turn.
All right, I'm going to do bonus action Hunter's Mark on the Queen.
Okay, Hunter's Mark on the Queen.
I'm going to launch a special arrow at her and then a normal arrow at her. Because I'm not sure if she's a crystalline creature or not, but I'm going to try it anyways, just to see what happens. So my first attack will be with one of the special arrows.
Okay, go ahead.
23.
23. As you fire your arrow, the moat of water will actually shoot up and try to shield, but your arrow goes right through it before it can make an entire barrier, and it strikes her in the armor. Go ahead, roll for a damage.
I did 8 with the arrow, and then I'm going to do Hunter's Mark 4, 12. So that's total 12, unless the acid damage is going to kick in as well.
The acid damage will kick in, yes.
I'm doing 8 points of acid damage at her.
As the arrow strikes, you do hear a sizzle. The acid is burning through, but it is burning through elven flesh. She's, As she looks down, you found weapons that can hurt him. I will not allow this. Anything else to Galaxia?
Yes, I have another attack. I'm going to shoot another special arrow at her. That 13 will miss.
Yes, the 13 will miss.
That I'm going to back up.
Okay.
Move back about 30 feet.
Next up will be Hans. Hans, you are frozen in place. At the end of your turn, you may make another wisdom saving throw.
I can still talk though, right?
Yes, you can.
We have to figure out a way to separate them. 18.
18. At the end of your turn, you are able to move once more. So you can move next turn. But this turn...
Well, I can use a bonus action to do disengage, right?
No, it's at the end of your turn. You have no actions to go. The Sun Queen will walk past you, walk to the moat. She will raise her hands, and then she will say, "Be blessed, my children. Be blessed by the sun." I need everybody in the room, except Hans, to go ahead and make me a dexterity saving throw.
Galaxy rolls a 20.
Okay?
Ellie rolled a 23.
Kiefer rolled a 5.
So Kiefer will take full damage. Galaxia and Ellie will take half damage, and that damage will be 7d10. So the sunlight that pours through the windows, it starts to intensify by the windows of the palace. It starts to direct, and these giant flicks of flame shoot out of the air. You guys are surrounded by the sun, and you're going to take 25 points of radiant damage to Kiefer, and half of that, which will be 12. So 12 points of radiant damage to Galaxia and Ellie as the sun's rays burn through your body.
Ow!
That's not pleasant.
Kiefer, it is your turn.
I am going to charge. That was an 11 hit.
11 will not hit, no.
This campaign has had some of the worst rolls I have ever had in any campaign.
I'm sorry. It's not me, it's you.
So the charge was my bonus action. I am going to attack with my short sword twice.
Okay.
Does a critical 28 hit?
Critical hits all the time, so yeah. Says the person's like, "Oh, I keep missing. Oh, my rolls suck." You've had 2 criticals this game alone.
Yeah, when I'm hitting stuff like normally, but when I'm trying to do my cool stuff, it's here's a 3.
Yeah.
I mean,
All
the
right.
fighter's gonna fight.
Yes, that's true.
But that will be 15 damage with my first hit.
Do you have the oil on your weapon? Because you rolled the damage for that too.
Would I still have my oil on my weapon? I did put it on when we were outside of the building, so I'm assuming it's still on.
The oil only lasts a minute, so it's probably evaporated by now.
Okay, so then it is evaporated. But with my second strike, does a unnatural 20 hit.
Yes, an unnatural 20 will hit her.
All right, that'll be 8 piercing damage, and that will end my turn.
Ellie, it is your turn.
Ellie doesn't know what to do.
Ellie doesn't know. Ooh, scandalous.
Yeah, Ellie's not sure exactly how to take care of this, but she's like right by me and kind of in a danger of me. And so I want to take one of my, like the dagger that I had before and just kind of instinctually almost just kind of like toss it at her, almost like trying to throw it at her.
Okay. That's fine. It's okay not to want to kill this person. That's
Yes,
fine.
I am like, oh, this was a nice person. I don't know why I have to attack her, but she's being mean right now. And
Roll.
here, have a dagger.
Okay. I mean, if you don't want to, you can use your action to do other things. Hans said, need to figure out a way to sever the ties. So if you want to do something to do that way, you can at least attempt it.
Well, can
Like
I then... Is there any way I might be able to use like a perception check or some sort of check to determine if that's possible or how that might be possible?
Roll me a knowledge arcana.
17.
17. So because of the erratic behavior and the fact that you've seen something similar to this, you've actually seen these golden eyes before. Yes. It definitely has something to do with the plague touched that you've seen in the desert. As you're trying to look at her examining through the fight, you get the sense that the thing that is affecting Lucian is very similar to what's affecting the queen. So this might be magical in basis, but you need to figure out what the focal point is. That's what you spend your round doing, is you're studying the affliction that the Sun Queen is basically under right now, okay?
Does that tell me anything about how to separate the two? You defined a focal point.
Yeah. Galaxia, it is your turn.
All right, I'm going to shoot 2 more arrows at the queen.
All right.
22.
22 will hit.
I'm going to do 5 points of damage from my arrow, then the acid. 7 points of acid damage, and then Hunter's Mark is going to do another 6.
Very nice. Very nice indeed.
That was my first attack, and then I have a second attack.
We're just pin cushioning the queen over here.
24.
24 will hit.
4 points of damage with my arrow, 10 points of acid damage, 4 points with the Hunter's Mark.
Very nice indeed. Are you doing anything else, Galaxia?
All I can do, and I'm at my max range, so I can't do anything else. I'm just going to stay where I am.
All right. At the end of your turn, she's going to take one of her legendary actions. The water is going to start to bubble and boil, and is going to surge forward in a tidal wave. Ellie, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, okay. Ellie does a 14.
14's very nice. So, Ellie, you're going to take 13 points of damage, and you're going to be pushed 10 feet back as this wave of boiling water strikes you, knocking you off kilter. So you're pushed 10 feet back, you are knocked prone, and that's going to end that action.
Well, I mean, I'd rather not have done that way, but at least I'm farther away now.
And as the arrows are puncturing her body, she looks back to Hans, Queen's Blade, defend me! And Hans, it is your turn.
Can I yell at him after she yells back towards Hans? Can I yell at him saying, we have to find the point of the infection?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Can't do that by killing her.
It's your turn, Hans. Your queen has asked for your protection.
Yes, I know.
It's up to you. What do you do?
Stab her in the face.
I can yell at Hans, say, you can still protect her. We need to know how she got ill.
I'm gonna run and tackle the queen into the water.
Okay. Go ahead and make a strength attack.
So what, do I just hit strength save?
Yep. Strength plus your proficiency.
23?
Yeah, 23 will, so you knock the queen. You both are knocked prone into the water.
What if I try to tie her up with the set of manacles that I have in my bag?
All right. Go ahead and roll me a grapple check.
That's a nat 20 plus 2, 22.
Describe what you're doing.
So I run up to her and I tackle her right in the small of her back and just drive her down into the water. As we're going, I slip these manacles out that I have on my belt, and I chain her hands behind her back, and then I pull her out and hold her down on the tile flooring.
What are you doing, Hans? You do not understand.
Sometimes the Queen's Blade has to protect his queen from herself, even if it means betraying her word. Now stay down and let us fix you. Don't make me knock you out. And with that, I would like to take my last set of manacles out and chain her feet to the chains around her arms and hog tie her.
Okay.
I need to make another athletics check.
That's going to take more than 6 seconds, so you can do that next turn. Okay?
So we're just basically holding her down at this point. That's the end of my turn.
She's like flailing, and all of a sudden she stops. She looks up at you, Hans, and she speaks a word, and her skin turns the same color as the tile, and she sinks into it, and she's gone.
Hans gets up, and his head is hanging, and he turns to his companions, and he has tears rolling down his face. It wasn't supposed to go this way.
Galaxia just yells back at Hans, it wasn't your fault. She was not herself.
I wasn't here to protect her. It is my fault. It is my job to protect the queen, and I wasn't here.
Ellie calls over. Is there a way we know where she went?
Roll me a knowledge arcana check, Ellie.
Ellie rolled a 14.
So she used a spell called Meld into Stone. She's probably somewhere nearby. Basically, she's immortal as long as she's in the stone area.
Would that have any effect with transmutation, a spell?
What do you mean?
I have stone shape, where I can touch a stone object of medium or small size and form it into any shape that suits my purpose. So if I were able to touch one of these pillars, could I transmutate her out of it?
So you did a Knowledge Arcana. You know that if you change the shape of the stone that she's melded into enough, that the spell would basically expel her.
I want to call over to Hans and mention this and ask his advice on what we could do.
You're entirely sure that you cannot expel her safely. Like, if you were to change the stone, it will hurt her.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna essentially ask what his opinion is on that. I called over Hans. I can pull her out. It would not be painless, but I could bring her back out if need be.
Will it kill her?
That I'm not sure.
She dies. It's your fault.
I'm asking your permission in this request.
I just tell Ellie, he already told you to do as you must.
So then I want to approach where she was standing, still with the water walk. So I'd be going over to the moat, over where she was. And I want to cast the stone shape on the floor where she formed into.
What do you change the shape into?
Into the form in which I last saw her in. I would essentially envision her and change the stone shape and bring it up to the image in my head.
As the stone starts to ripple, it goes up in like a small pillar, and then it starts to shrink into the size of the Sun Queen. Once the shape gets too far away from what it was naturally, the queen will actually be expelled from the piece, reforming about 5 feet away where she was originally. She looks at you. I invited you into my kingdom, and this is how you treat me. She's going to take 66 points of damage, because you did that 27 points of damage to her. She's going to take 27 points of damage, and as a legendary action, the water is going to reach up and start to swirl around her and starting to heal her wounds.
And I can call out to her. I say, please, Your Majesty, I'm not trying to hurt you. We are only trying to help you to become as you were before.
You do not understand. I am better than what I was before. I am part of something much bigger than you could possibly imagine.
Whatever that power is turning you against your good nature, and you are now envisioning evil upon the world. It has to be dispelled from you.
Don't you understand? We are the virus, and the Razad brings with him the cure.
Razad is the corruption of all worlds. He does no longer need to be in this one.
I call out to Hans. Hans, quickly, restrain her.
She starts to raise her hand, sunlight forming upon her palm, and aims it at Ellie. I will have no more interference from you in my kingdom.
Can I dive into the water?
Well, it is Kiefer's turn. So Kiefer, what do you do?
I'm contemplating. Okay, so she's not taking the help.
She's going to kill me.
I am going to stab.
I am going to stab.
Try to render her unconscious if you can.
Says the person that's been pincushioning her all night.
And is farthest away.
If she falls unconscious, then she's no longer able to do anything.
That's true.
Does an unnatural 25 hit?
Yes, a 25 will hit.
That's going to be 11 piercing damage.
Okay.
Does a 12 hit?
No, 12 will not hit. It's like feast or famine for your rolls. You can either go over 20 or nothing.
That's what happens when you have a +8.
Right. Anything else, Kiefer?
Yes, I'm going to try and shove with my shield.
All right. And that is a strength check, correct?
It's a strength athletics check contested by the target strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics. You get to choose.
Okay. So what are you doing?
So I got a 10, and it looks like you also got a 10.
All right. So I guess that she's doing it. Does the 10? Oh, how would that go?
Well, I am the attacker in this situation.
Right. Yes. Then your ability score has to overcome her ability score. So 10 will work. So yes, you do knock her prone.
All right. She is knocked prone.
So how are you knocking the Sun Queen prone?
I am a relatively tall in stature because I have an entire horse body underneath me. So I would assume that my shield area would be about her head. area, and I'm just gonna swing my shield as hard as I can on the top half of her body, trying to like knock her over and knock her onto the ground.
Perfect. As you strike, she does a 180, crashes to the floor. Her hand dips into the moat, but still you see the bright light from her spell, and she quickly raises her head to look at Ellie. Ellie, it is your turn.
Yeah, can I dive in the water or something?
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna just dive in. I'm gonna avoid this ire of sun attack.
Okay. It's like, nope, not dealing with this laser beam. Ellie, you dive into the water. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Ellie rolled an 18.
Even underwater, you can still see the searing light from the Sun Queen spell. As your eyes adjust to the light, you see a glint off of something in the moat of the water. You're not sure what it is. So we are going to go to Galaxia.
Now that she's prone, I will move up closer to the moat and then look for Ellie, see where she's at in the water.
Ellie is swimming around. Are you doing anything else?
Just trying to see what she's doing. If she does it look like she's found something in the water?
Not at the moment. She's in the water, cowering from the.
I just got in the water. Yeah.
Yeah, she just got in the water.
All right, I'm gonna look around in the water, see if I can see anything of significance.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check.
13.
You don't really see anything in the water besides Ellie and the bright light that is reflected off of the Sun Queen spell.
And then all I'm going to do from this point is swap out my bow for my sword, for my swords, for just in case.
Okay. And we go back to Hans.
I'm gonna unarmed strike her. How do I proceed to do that? I don't want to strike her with a weapon.
It's going to be your strength modifier plus your proficiency bonus. You're going to do 1 point of damage plus your strength bonus.
22 to hit.
All right, 22 will hit. So what's your strength modifier?
2. So,
okay, so you do 3 points of damage. You kind of just get down, you just start popping the Sun Queen in the face.
Go to sleep.
She looks up at you. Her teeth are a little bloody. You dare strike your queen, Hans.
And just look at her.
And she's...
I'm sorry.
I've tried to protect you, Hans, but there is no mercy for you any longer. And she's going to turn her spell on Hans. Hans, I need you to go ahead and make me a dexterity saving throw. Or no, sorry.
No, it's too late. I rolled 26. Don't you do this to me.
Hans, I need you to make me a constitution saving throw.
This is why no one likes you.
Craig doesn't like me. Craig doesn't like me at all.
I rolled a 14.
Am I able to use my protection?
Does protection protect against saving throws?
You can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll.
It's not an attack, it's a spell.
Wait, I'm sorry. For some reason, I don't have the modifier in, but my click of protection gives me +1 to saving throws, so that should be a 15. I don't know if that changes anything.
It doesn't change anything.
Okay.
Spells are attacks.
Spells are actually not attacks.
Well, it depends on the spell, but some spells are considered.
Well, yeah. So this is an area, an effect spell, not a ranged spell attack. Technically, it's a beam spell, but she's just aiming it at you, Hans, because you punched her. So, Hans, you are going to take a sunbeam directly to the face. So, Hans, my dear friend, you're doing right by your queen, kind of. So, Hans is going to take 6d8. So, Hans, you're going to take 19 points of damage, and you are blinded. Until your next turn. Until your next turn, you basically can't see. Oh, my eyes. The beam is actually going to hit the window. It's going to absorb, and the beam's actually going to start bouncing around the room. So this is going to be fun. I can line up the shot however I want to now. Kiefer, it's your turn.
I'm gonna stab.
Okay.
Is she still prone?
Yes, she is still prone. She didn't get up. Hans is holding her down while he's trying to punch her in the face.
Does a 19 hit?
A 19 will hit.
That's gonna be 11 piercing damage.
All right.
And then does a 20 hit? Yes.
Yes.
That's going to be another 11 piercing damage.
Anything else, Kiefer?
That is going to be everything I can do currently.
Okay. Ellie, it is your turn. You are still in the water.
Yes, so I saw something glittering in the water. I would like to approach it and investigate.
All right, Ellie, you swim towards the glittering object. It appears to be a small lizard made entirely of dazzling crystal. The crystals jut out of its back, its hands, its mouth. Everything seems to be made out of crystal, but it looks like it's a living creature.
Okay. I would like to... How big is this lizard?
It can fit in the palm of your hand.
Okay. I would like to grab it and take it up to the surface on the side where Galaxia is and pull it up onto the floor and show it to him.
Awesome. Set that on the ground.
Ellie grabs the lizard and sets it on the ground in front of Galaxia. As the creature comes out of the water, you start to hear the Sun Queen scream in agony. No! 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 Galaxia, it's your turn.
So I will crush this little lizard with my foot and break it into pieces as best as I can.
Roll to hit.
23.
As you slam your foot down upon the creature, you hear the shattering sound as if the creature was made of porcelain. All of a sudden, the Sun Queen starts to scream in agony, pain. Kiefer, you look down at the Sun Queen. The golden eye starts to grow bulbous. And all of a sudden, you hear this popping noise, and the eye bursts out of its socket, and she shudders and falls down to the ground, unconscious.
Yay, we did it. We killed the... Oh, shoot.
Did it. Okay, so we have to go. I turn around and see that she has fallen over. I want to swim over to where she is.
Okay, roll a medicine check.
Ellie rolled a 6.
So you go over there. The only thing that you can tell is she's breathing, but that's as far as you know. She is still alive.
I call out to Hans. She's still alive, Hans.
Hans, what do you do?
I don't. I have to make another save, don't I?
No, your vision will return to you momentarily.
I'm gonna make another unarmed strike on her.
Blinded.
So what is that with disadvantage?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
18 to hit.
Okay, Hans, you strike an unconscious elf.
Hans, she's already unconscious.
She is asleep.
Then I'm gonna feel around and I'm gonna rechain her again.
Okay, yeah, sure. You restrain her with the manacles.
All right, I pick up the porcelain pieces that were shattered on the ground, and I just bring them over to Kiefer and Hans and show them that this was probably the object of the focus that was affecting her, and that's why she was acting the way she was. So I crushed it with my foot, and it appears that she might be okay now.
Except for her eye is now not there.
Still bleeding out.
Just to make sure she doesn't bleed out, we can do... I'll do a Cure Light Wounds on her.
Go ahead and roll it.
I heal her for 9 points, just to stop her from bleeding out.
As the energy washes over her, the eye doesn't grow back, but the wound starts to close and heal. She opens up her other eye, quite faintly.
Say to the Queen, Your Grace, apologies, but you were taken over by an evil force. We had to find a means to break you from it. Unfortunately, we had to subdue you and do some harm you a little bit in order to control what you were doing.
Is it over?
It's not quite over. Drazat still lives and he's somewhere around. As long as he's still in this area, there's still danger that lurks.
Drazat is after the heart. He came to my chambers. I fought off as best I could, but he got me in the end. She looks over to Hans. He's after the heart, Hans. With it, he can infect the entire desert. I didn't let him into the passage, but I know he's heading there now. I took all I had to fight him. You must go down there and stop Drazat before he can infect the heart.
Galaxia will speak up and say, Very well, my queen. Please recover from your wounds. We shall head down shortly.
Ellie would like to get out of the water.
I'll reach down with my hand to kind of help Ellie up out of the water.
I take his hand and get out.
The Sun Queen will look over past Hans, hold up her hand, and speak a word. Hans, behind you, the throne starts to shudder and move. The pieces start to push on one another and start to collapse in on itself, revealing a passage down below. Go there. Save the heart of Akhal.
Before we head down, I'd like to heal up some wounds. I'd like to cast a Cure Light Wounds on myself at a 2nd level.
Okay.
Heal myself for an amazing 7.
All right.
Can I use the healing potion on
Yes,
myself?
Yes, you can. Roll 2d4 plus 2.
Well, I'm back up to 30 now.
The Queen will look over at Hans. Hans, place me in the water. I must heal, and I must help my people. You and your people must go down there and protect the entire desert. Can I trust you, my Queen's Blade?
It shall be done.
Can we ask the Queen whether or not the waters will help heal any of us before we go down?
I call over, do you mind if I use the water too?
She smiles. Well, I believe it is the least I can do.
Galaxia will go into water as well, just to heal back up.
So anybody goes into the water.
Group bath, everyone.
Group bath, everyone. She'll go ahead and cast a spell on you guys. And you will heal for 24 points of damage.
Wish I knew that before I used the potion.
Kiefer, no peeing in the water. Once we heal back up, I'll come back out of the water.
Same. Axia, help. Gonna need help to get back out again.
Of course, my friend. I'll reach out my hand for you to grab up so you can get back up out of the water.
Thank you.
So, with our heroes healed up as much as they can, they leave the Sun Queen to fend for herself. As she goes to help her people, you all head down to face Zerzat and stop him from infecting the heart of Akhal. We're going to go ahead and call it for tonight, and I'll see you all next week as we head into our season finale and the completion of the story that is the Dunes of Akhal. Thank you so much for listening. Tune in next week as the Sunday Knights head into the final confrontation versus Zerzat as they try to save the heart of Akhal. If you like the story so far, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week on Sunday Nights. Galaxia, if you please.
Down with Zerzat. Minstrels, play us out.